When I was a young boy, I just wanted to be Wes Parker, the Dodgers' first baseman. But after many mediocre Little League seasons, I realized I am not going to be anything close to Wes Parker. But I would realize a new path, a path that would lead me to great, amazing, caring people. From the musicians, artists, actresses, and actors, and the foundations, the organizations, charities, and so many other people that I've been able to work with have made me the person I am, to be able to help, pay it forward, and just be a good, kind person. I've recently felt compelled to share my art with my family, my friends, and a lot of my followers now. I think people may enjoy what I've created. And another reason I'm here is to be able to meet as many creative and unique folks along the way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let's stick together. So be safe, get up, get out, and get after it. Talk to you soon. Well, hello, boys and girls, friends and family and followers, subscribers all over this beautiful planet. I'm Terry Gwynn. This is my instrumental art page. Thanks for stopping by. First of all, February 25th, Friday. Sorry about the beanie and the clothes. It's about 12 degrees here in Southwest Missouri, so yeah, February 25th. This is my mom's birthday. We lost her back in 14. This day comes around every year. It's really a tough one for me, so I miss you, Mom. Love you. Think about you every day. But today is a very exciting day. I get to explain and share the story of the Rod Morgenstein piece. It's one of my favorite pieces, so let's get into it. Back in the early 80s, being a young drummer, musician, wannabe, I was listening to basically John Bonham. He was a big influence on me. And then I heard All the World's a Stage by Rush, and that drum solo on there, and I was hooked as a Neil Peart fan. So as the 80s went on, and being around my very dear friend Jim, we'll get into him more later in this series. He's a great guy, great human being. He's all, hey, Terry, I know you're into Neil Peart and stuff, but hey, listen to this guy. And he put on some Dixie Dregs with Rod Morgenstein on the drums. And from that day on, he basically was the influence in me, my playing, my aspect of music, and the way I looked at music. And I couldn't get enough of him. Bought his instructional tapes. Really liked listening to what the style and the performances that he gave. So many years go by, and I started this instrumental art. I created a piece for him. It was like my third piece, I do believe. But I wrote him a nice letter in there and gave him my email and stuff, and I never expected to hear back from him. We'll get into that other drum I did for him when it comes up out of the jar. The jar. And so a few years go by, almost 2 years go by. I sent this piece to the Berklee School of Music, where he was an instructor for many years. That's the only way I thought I could get one of my pieces to him. And I wanted to explain to him what his drumming and influence did to me. So a year and a half, almost 2 years go by, and I get this email from him, and we really spoke highly of me, and he really praised what I did and apologized for the lapse in response, which was basically because his wife was going through some major medical issues. So we kept in touch. Every few months I'd connect with him, and then I started making more of these, and got to the point where I was able to get a booth at the NAMM show. I explained to him that I was going to be there and I had a booth, and really would appreciate it if he had some time to come by my booth. And to my surprise, he did. He came by my booth and he was very, very intrigued with everything in my booth, which was just amazing. He got some photos. He signed a drum head for me, and it was just so, so wonderful. But a few weeks go by after NAMM show is over, and he writes to me and he explains to me that after seeing my magnificent booth, it gave him some creative ideas. So we set up a few uh, Skype calls back then. It was Skype, and we started working together. He had his very first two drum sets that he ever had. After seeing, like many musicians back in the day in '62, he saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and that's what he wanted to do. His parents eventually were able to buy him a set. A vintage Ludwig psychedelic was really cool, and after that he had acquired another set, but these sets had been sitting in cases for over 20 years, probably 25 years, and he wanted me to create something out of them. And I was so taken aback because this is my mentor. This is the guy I looked up to, and here he is wanting me to create something for him. So that was incredible. And a few more Skypes, and we really decided what we were going to do. We had a vision. When I did the Neil Peart piece, we'll get into that too in this series. I did one for Neil, and I didn't want to put Neil inside because, he's sick of seeing I'm sure he was, had enough of him seeing himself in different things. So I built this Freddie Gruber, his mentor, Freddie Gruber drum that had all Freddie's pictures in it, and I presented that to Don Lombardi at DW, and he gave it to Neil. And he, in turn, wrote me a very nice card and sent me one of his latest DVDs. So I basically said, let's put your mentors, let's put the guys that you looked up to, your influences inside these drums. For you to know, I make a memory box out of these drums, out of drums in general. The person's career or family or whatever they're interested in goes on the inside of these drums. And so he thought that was an amazing idea. I worked up some rough ideas, and we emailed back and forth, and then before you know it, boom, he sent me his drum sets, both of them. And I told him that these drum heads are pretty battered up. So is there any way that you could talk to Evans or Remo or whoever his sponsor was to get some heads? And he did. I told him what I needed, and he sent me this whole collection of brand new drum heads. So that helped the project a lot. So it was, how was I going to be able to combine all these drums into a piece? Well, I decided that putting it on a rack and suspending them like a mobile or mobile. So it's like a musical mobile that they all just hang there on this rack. And really, I sent him a few rough ideas when I started building it, just so you can see how it was coming along. But after that, I really didn't. I didn't want him to see it because I wanted to kind of surprise him. So working with my brother, my friend Paul, all these great friends and family came together and helped me throw this thing together in a way that was pretty unique. And then the next problem came up. How do I get these to him? He lives in Long Island. I lived in Northern California, just south of San Jose. And I knew I couldn't put these things in the mail or UPS because I wouldn't know what would happen to them when they got there. So how was I going to get it there? So I rented a motorhome, put all his drums inside this motorhome, and drove from Northern California to Long Island by myself in November, which was quite the trip itself. The expectations, the thrill, the being able to be in Rod's house and connect with him that way, and it was really building up to be an amazing trip, which it was. A lot of sleet, some snow. You know, it was kind of treacherous here and there, but I finally got there and pulled up to his house and proceeded to unload these. And as we unloaded, I was bringing these things up the stairs to his. It was like a patio sunroom on the top of his house, kind of really neat place that he kind of wanted to put him up there. So as I was bringing him in, he's looking at him. This is the first time he was able to see him, and I was able to really take all the hardware off and really clean everything, clean the wraps on the drum. The black set that he had, you know, was pretty beat up, so I just basically sanded it and, you know, fixed all the imperfections and shot it black again and cleaned all the hardware. Ludwig's, both these were Ludwig sets, and so I was getting kind of awestruck a little with him, you know, in the room. So I said, "Hey, you know, how about you go downstairs and let me put this thing together for you?" And he did, and proceeded to go down and play piano, which, you know, I was aware he played piano, but I didn't know he was as good on the piano. So he kind of played for me while I was upstairs putting this thing together. After I had got it together, I had the huge piece of glass, 3 by 4 by 8 piece of glass that beveled and very heavy, and I had no way of getting it upstairs. So he helped me, and he had just, I think, prior to that, had slipped in the snow and did something to his shoulder. And so as we were taking it up the stairs, he is moaning and groaning, and I realized that this is really hurting him. But we finally got it up there, and I had put some LEDs in there in the rack itself, so it shined down onto the drums. And when I hit those lights and that glass, and I put a piece of plexiglass under the glass to be able to hold the drums from this plexiglass. I'll be showing you pictures here and there of the build, but he was just amazed. Very, very kind, generous, warm-hearted man that I have ever met. By this time, it was getting dark. I had arrived probably 10-ish, 11-ish in the morning. And by this time, it was starting to get dark. I had spent the whole day in his house, invading his area. And we were downstairs. Oddly enough, he had this double pedal, and he was having problems with it. He said, "Can you look at this?" And here I am looking at this pedal of Rod's, and, you know, I was trying to convince him it was too far gone, and maybe you'd let me have this, because he did all his gigs on this pedal, and I could hang it in my shop or whatever. But no, I told him, you know, there's certain areas that get wallered out after a while, and it starts slipping and missing, and you can just get replacement parts, and any drum shop will be able to help you out. And he was appreciated that. Was cutting me a check for the art piece that I did, and he asked me out to dinner. He said, "You like to go in town and have some dinner?" And I felt so like I had been in his area for long enough, and I didn't want to invade his area anymore. And I said, "Can I take a rain check?" And I was staying in upper New York at a friend's house, and had quite a drive to go, and I had this motorhome, and so I kindly declined and took a rain check and got his check, and he threw me some cash for the road trip home, because I still had to drive all the way back by myself. And of course, he's like, "Here, take this. This will help you with gas and stuff." So, like I said, he went way above and beyond. I was struggling months afterwards, and he said, "Let me pay you a little more for that piece," and he sent me another check. And the man was just so gracious. I think he's the greatest person I've ever met. So, uh, got in the got in the motorhome and proceeded to drive back to Northern California. This was probably right as Thanksgiving was rolling around. So unfortunately, I ran into more snow and sleet and ice on the way back, so it did take me a little longer to get there. But the piece turned out amazing. He still talks about it. I've got a video. He sent me a video of inside the sunroom up there describing the piece. I'll play it for you, and you can see.
Hey Terry, Rod Morgenstein here, just checking in. I first off want to congratulate you on the new branding of Instrumental Furnishings. What a cool name. And also want to congratulate you for the completion of your 100th magnificent creation with guitars and drums. It's phenomenal, man. Anyway, I am upstairs in my room with your creation, and I don't know how well you can see it, but for anybody who is watching this, I sent Terry my 2 drum sets, East Coast to West Coast, and they looked like they should have been brought to the curb for trash pickup, and he refurbished them so magnificently and then lined each of the drums with photos of my favorite drummers. There's Ringo Starr in there, and then we have Charlie Watts, Keith Moon, Mitch Mitchell, Ginger Baker, Clive Bunker, Billy Cobham. Down over here we have Tony Williams and John Bonham, and it's just this indescribable, incredible work of art. So anyway, I am back, and look forward to seeing you soon, man. Hope you're well. Keep on making these incredible works of art.
So that was the whole trip in a nutshell. But we continue. Whenever he was close to Northern California, we'd go. I took my brother to see him, Winger, and then they did the Dregs reunion in L.A., down in L.A., and me and my brother drove down there and got a few friends and went and saw him again, and we went backstage, and they were all able to meet Rod and Steve and Andy West and all these guys, and it was just a great evening. I had pictures of me with Rod, so I basically was the camera guy that night, taking pictures of my friends with Rod and stuff. He was so generous. But to this day, it was one of the most unique pieces I've done, and I thank him so much. Thank you, Rod. It was so great to be in your area and share your area and see where a lot of this inspiration came from. He took me down to his basement where he had numerous drum sets set up and the Winger Gold records and stuff like that. And it was just so nice of him to share that kind of aspect of his life with him. It was one of the most surreal things I've ever done in my career, and I appreciate everything he did. And still to this day, we talk, and I consider him one of my dearest friends, and a great musician. So, with that being said, we're at the 16-minute mark. Let's get into the jar. It's jar time. Jar time. Let's see what the next piece will be. Let me get my book out. I can tell you exactly what piece it is going to be. Okay. Here we go. It is number, let me see if I can get it. Yeah, I can. I think I can. Oh, suspense is killing me. Oh, it's number 31. Let's see, number 31. 31, created 1109, and it was the Johnny Mercer Museum piece. Speaking of Jim, my best friend, that's his grandfather. Johnny Mercer is his grandfather's songwriter. Started Capitol Records, Songwriters Hall of Fame. It was a huge piece, and I felt tremendous pride because I've been a huge Johnny Mercer fan for years. And so it'll be fun to explain and tell the story of this piece for you guys. I hope you all enjoy this video and the story of Rod. If you like these that I'm making, these videos, please subscribe, like, and share. I could use the support. I'd like to get my art out everywhere. I'd like everybody to see this stuff, and this is basically why I'm doing it. I want to have a history of my pieces, but I also want people to share it and be involved in it. I'd like to hear what you guys think of these pieces. I will do my best to get the editing better and the stuff, the sound and everything is as best as I can, because you deserve it. You guys are great, and I appreciate all your support. I just checked the subscribers before I got on here, and I have 19 subscribers. I am so amazed. Thank you so much for everybody who subscribed to this. I never thought I'd have that many, and I hope it grows so we can experience things art-wise and music-wise together and share things together. It's what I like to do, and I like to meet and talk and create different aspects of art with different people. So from the shop here in Southwest Missouri in a balmy 12 degrees, I appreciate your support, and thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Terry Gwynn, I'm out.